just for it being more organized, especially if it's from different communities. Just so that people can have that option.
I think it makes sense. Maybe we only put the ones that are in the TEC Discord in the TE calendar. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if we want to have like a more like broader calendar from other communities events also, this custom calendar could be good. I'll start an issue for this and tag you guys, see if you're interested in also managing it.
Yeah, definitely add me to the calendar. Griff at giveth.io. Okay, so that's in progress. Thanks for letting me take that time, guys. Other things, the ABC front end. Well, okay, wait, I'll stick with params. So we closed QA on the token freeze and the DAO voting. I feel like those are solid. There's one little thing. The QA is done. There's still a fix on the token freeze that's happening with the table, but it's all done. The QA is done, but we're still doing some QA on the bonding curve and conviction voting. So those will hopefully be done this sprint, hopefully on Tuesday. So I'll just move those over. And the GitHub issue submission is still also being QA'd. And we're also still testing token log, although it seems all fine, almost. There's only 2 issues up there right now, so we still have to get the tags sorted. So those are the last things that we have to do for the dashboard. And I'm still hopeful that on Tuesday we'll be able to say this is prime and move all the issues over to the final repo, though it might be delayed. And I think that's everything for params. On Common Swarm, we have decentralized a little bit, thankfully, and we got ViveIV and Nuggin working on front end issue, get on the ABC smart contracts and the front end. So that's like the big focus for this week. And then I'm still hopeful that and we also decentralized the front end gardens work with to make WrappedX die. I got Fabri and Gabby from Gardens to take a lot of that work on. So I'm hopeful that both of those could be done this sprint. But I don't think we'll get the demo up, unfortunately. I wish that we could, but coordinating that kind of launch, I think we'll get an internal demo, and I'm really hopeful that by next sprint we'll have an external demo, so people can really see what it looks like. And I still need to. I started the reviewing of these forum posts, but actually I think the open price one is done. I just need to review and see if I can close these ones, because I think, and that's all the work I have on in my working group. I mean, our working groups are almost done. It's kind of crazy.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Transparency. Do you want to go next? Since I see Ivy is here too.
Yes.
What does this mean, transparency on the multi-sig? Okay. Yeah, I created a new one too around like just all the next steps for the initial buy-in, and it's basically so it's like finalizing the choice for the multi-sig, right?
I mean, you only want me to DM like the top hatchers, right? Like above 1%. So, yeah. I mean, a focused calendar. Like if I had an hour scheduled for it, it would be done.
What would the advantage be to having 2 votes versus 1 vote? Sure, why don't we just combine that into 1 vote? Oh, because you want the rank. Oh, yeah, because you want the rank voting for one of them. Yeah, I'm not sure how to move forward with this. So with the issue that this one would be is actually not transparency on multi-sig because that doesn't make sense, but like rank vote for multi-sig for
I just
laser.
wanted to bring up the issue of the ranked choice voting being weighted in Snapshot. Yeah, but from what I could tell about the test proposal that we did yesterday, which I thought was about this particular proposal that you're speaking of, was that it only counted the first vote for each person, which is but like that like token weighted ranked choice voting is not ranked choice voting at all. Like it's just whoever has the highest votes. Because if you look at that test proposal, the second place vote in each of those choices, the second place vote was the first proposal, and it got 0 votes.
No, I think what Nate's saying is that you can't order a list with ranked choice voting. Okay, you're using approval voting, not ranked choice voting.
So what does that mean?
It's well, it's just you have a box. You have check boxes, and you can say yes or no to each person, basically.
And so how do we end up with 7 at the end?
The
Top 7 who get the top votes.
So basically what we want is to disqualify people, right? Like we want to see if people get disqualified for some reason. What is the theory here? What is that like? What is the objective in doing it this way?
Can you choose to only be able to vote for 7 of the people on the list?
Yeah, you only get 7 votes. Or yeah, so you can vote for all 7, or vote for 2, or vote for 1. But at the
Well,
end
I
of the
think
day,
we're going to have a list of we're going to have a list, let's call it 15 people for lack of, just to have some number to play with. We have a list of 15 people. Is it possible then to have a vote where everyone is only able to select 7 people from that list of 15?
Nate Sepp I haven't
I don't
tested
think
it.
so. I think the amount of votes you get is the amount of choices you have. And so the idea is that you can choose as many as you want, but at the end of the day, the people with the most votes get ranked. And so in this scenario, you'd have the top 7 be the multi-sig holders, and everybody else would be dropped off. So if you had 15 choices, each person would have 15 votes they could hypothetically assign to someone. And in true approval voting, you could actually put all 15 on one person.
And what happens in the case of a tie? Well, what if the votes are like, what if everyone just votes for everyone? Like, what if everyone votes for the same group? I guess what we're saying is like, we're probably going to have some that have the same number of votes. Yeah. Okay. And what if there are 10 persons that have the same number of votes? What if there are 3 people that have the same number of votes?
Is only if it's like 7, 8, and 9, or 6, 7, and 8.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what if it runs over the clear 7? Is this the question? And I don't think that's that unlikely, is Optimus.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Can I make one suggestion? Before we put this up for vote, can we have a clear idea of how the process will work and what our expectations are from this process? That would be cool. Okay.
And I think that's what is asking for. Can he push that proposal through, and we actually vote for the multi-sigs, or are we against voting for the multi-sig holders? Because he shouldn't do the work if everyone's against it anyway.
I mean, I think it seems pretty clear that there should be some sort of consensus for who's going to be on the multi-sig rather than one person pick the names. Like, that seems kind of arbitrary, and so I think some sort of democratic voting thing needs to happen.
I think it'd be fun at the very least.
Well, I do oppose it. I think we should just choose who the people are in the stewards. And I also do think it should only be stewards. But that's okay. It can be whatever the community wants. But I think it should be people that are present and active and committed. And we know that we're going to be able to rely on, because we don't know that necessarily with people that aren't active in the community.
I think this is a great example of a controversial decision that gets escalated out of advice process and into a community vote.
Cool. So it sounds like you do the work, and maybe we move on. Cool. What else?
Yeah, sure. I will start with the 1041. So we talked before that we wanted to make data analytics also like what we had for Discord. So we'll be doing it for Medium and YouTube and other platform that where we need to see the data analytics. So yeah, we can put it this sprint, and then 10:43 okay. 10:42 the snapshot. So I noticed that the snapshot link it's not yet in our website. So I already reached out to Christopher to apply that change, and I think he's already working on it.
Just one thing, shouldn't we add boardroom now that we're live on boardroom as of like 24 hours ago?
Yeah, we can add it here too.
So I guess it's kind of adjacent to this, but for the params, we're thinking about doing quadratic ranked choice voting. So I'm going to make another token that is the square root of every TECH token holder's tokens. And we'll have to just note to burn if anyone rage quits, and that's the catch. But I'm going to create that token, and then we'll have quadratic ranked choice voting, and it will be a different snapshot instance. And I don't know if that needs to be integrated a boardroom or exactly how to do that. But that's what we're going to propose to the community for how we decide the final parameters.
Can you say that again? Sorry, can you say that one more time?
We're going to create a second token that's a copy of the TECH token holdings, except we're going to square root the values. So if you have 10,000 tokens in 10,000 TECH tokens, you'll end up with 100 tokens. And if you have 100 TECH tokens, you'll end up with 10 tokens. And so that way, someone who has 10,000 doesn't have 1,000 times the voice as the person who has 100 tokens. They only have 10 times the voice. And then we use ranked choice voting with that token. I think that we will the runoff voting mechanism, because it's different. I think it will require a vote on snapshot to ratify it. But I just wanted to bring it up because of this boardroom issue and the snapshot like accumulating all the options. But I agree. I think that it should require 88% approval to execute this strategy. But then once we vote on the strategy to use quadratic voting, then I think it'll be okay.
We won't be able to use it on the boardroom. We can use it directly within the T. They would kill me if I came back to them and said I had another token for them to integrate. So
that's fine.
Okay. Just as long as I had to convince them because we were upgrading to the TEC token, and that was hard enough. But so we can go directly through Snapshot for this new instance of boardroom. Or
it'll be a one-off. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. What else that?
Can you scroll down if there's the issues at the bottom? Yeah, I think that's all for this sprint. We also plan to do a transparency survey, but we're not committing it this sprint, so we just leave it at the product club.
Cool. And I threw
the transparency of funding proposal. It should also be in this sprint because we started already.
All right, and the idea is that we should all be posting them on the forum for advice process. Does that sound right? Because that's what I think I heard Chewy is planning to do, and I thought that's a great idea. Stewards and Communitas should do that too. I think that makes sense. So transparency is, do you think it will be something that you could post to the forum next week or next sprint?
Yes. Yeah, we're almost done actually. We just need to finalize it on Monday.
Cool. Mitch, continue research on DAO treasury management. Is there anything to do this sprint?
I would say not, because that's going to be delegated to laser tag.
Okay.
Unless you guys think otherwise, but it seems like these people are probably going to be the ones doing it.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it for now then. Cool. Eduardo, do you want to do Communitas?
Yes, please.
Okay. I did a bunch of updates.
Yeah, I saw it. I was going through it. I was like, oh wow, I didn't add this. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I had one question. The one that 1055, sorry, had two relations campaign. In this case, for matter of understanding, Jean is also helping with this outreach. So do we create another issue for it, or how do we handle this? Because it will be too.
So this is something that can be assigned to you, right? You can sort of drive this. Awesome. I'm happy to help too. And we can create another issue for Gene so that he has it on his plate as well.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and definitely keep me in the loop because I'm definitely like to help with that too.
Sure. Training guides for new guides. Sounds like a puzzle.
You think that's something for this sprint?
Yeah.
Cool. And just for everyone else to know, the idea is that there's a role. There's a role that will be guides, and that will be basically a few people doing all the work that Eduardo's doing now, but like welcoming people to the channel and sort of engaging and directing and guiding people to different working groups. And since nobody knows it better than Eduardo, he's going to write the training guide for that.
The other one that says scanning for new members and reaching out to them. I added the working document for this, which is until we have Notion. That's the tab that we are using to keep track of.
Oh, fantastic! Cool.
So it's there. That's the only update I have for that document. Then copy of terms and condition code of conduct. That's already accomplished.
Yeah. Cool.
And then content creation, all the things that regards onboarding journey, flowchart. It's flowchart. I will have assumed that the first iteration is done. LD update their version. So that should be done. Unless
I would say we're still finishing. It's still not final yet, and maybe we'll just pull like the finalization will definitely happen this sprint.
Sure. For that, the rest of the content creation process is still on the making. So I will say that for next sprint, it's should be for next week actually. Most of this stuff. Then.
Oh, this one should be closed. Sorry.
Yeah.
But what is the number? So it's 995. Oops. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so all of the banners are getting an update, and it's the work that Vaya is doing with this sesh, FYI.
The one that says reorganization of Discord menu, which is Gideon's one. That also, it just probably will be a matter of rearranging. I mean, I will say it's closed, but yeah, we could still have a last update to it. But it's, yeah, I think it's done. So I will close it, but you can leave it open if you feel like.
Yeah, we can. I think we can close it. I think maybe leave it open until we have that, like the final staging server ready with the guide and the survey, and then we can revisit but I'll leave it in the backlog for now, since I don't think we're going to do anything with it other than it's already up on the staging server.
And I think that this core menu is something that every certain amount of months will be always revisited in case we need to close and open channels. So, and the one that says onboarding, revisit, improve the survey about questions, 978, the one below, that one, we still need to figure out the first question. But that will be the only thing. Besides that, it's already done. Because we already picked the questions, we already understood it. So there is not much work else to do there.
Yeah, I think that first question we just leave. We can just leave it as it is, and we just call it done. Cool.
The video coordination in the TEC, that needs to be the video ones. There's a bunch of that one.
So this one came out of that one, which was like, can we make a short and simple welcoming video? I threw some comments in here wondering if this is something you want to take on, and if you have the bandwidth to take it on this sprint.
I don't have the bandwidth, but I can reach out to someone who can do it.
Who are you thinking?
The same guy who already did it, which is Peter, Innovator. He already did one version of it. It's just that it was published on his Facebook, remember? He published this Facebook version of, he made a version of how to enter the TEC for his friends, teacher friends. He published it on Facebook.
I don't think Innovator would be the right person for this. I think this is more of like the orientation, but so stewards welcoming the people.
Oh.
I think Innovator doesn't have the details for each of the subjects that is covered in that.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, we can just leave it off. We don't have to bring it into this at all.
Is this designed just to cover like the orientation aspects of the call?
So the idea is to have more like the comms team wants to produce more high-end videos for like the TEC, but just until we have that, we were thinking like a very short orientation to TEC video that's similar to the like that covers the content and the orientation call, the working groups, the mission, vision, value, the calendar, the schedule, but now that we're actually started recording the orientation calls as like a stopgap measure, so it's sort of like, well, if you missed the orientation call, you can go and watch the orientation calls on YouTube now. But it might still be nice, not high priority, but it might still be nice to have like one succinct, if you can't make it to the orientation videos, here's, 3 or 4 minutes to cover in there.
Yeah, we had different ideas for that video. When initially, because there has been different iterations of this. Suga did an iteration of this also. So my idea or the last consensus I had with Suga was just a video that has how to add the calendar and briefly what are the main channels to take a look at. Like just pinpoint orientation, pinpoint things, and that's it. Like a very brief things of someone who arrived and it's lost. It's just that brief description of the TEC and brief. That was the idea of that video, because those were the things that we found were more confusing for people. So that was that video was about. So,
yeah, I mean that's actually just the work that's necessary just to frame out what it would look like what key things to cover. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay. And I think for me that it's all.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the onboarding journey, Vi is still working on that, as well as the SESH FYI. MS is working on making the website more ADA accessible. There's a lot of work that Aloysius has done to sort of highlight the improvements that we can make, and Michael's interested in doing this dev work with the team that he works with. Apparently his company has a specialization in making websites ADA compliant, so it actually works out perfectly.
Yeah.
And then the Communitas working group funding proposal. Eduardo did some extra work on it this last sprint with adding the roles, and I think we just we're really close. I think this sprint is the one that we can actually publish it on the forum for advice process. New banners, yeah, Acid Laser's working on the new banners. Just so everyone knows, there's a, I took the original PowerPoints from Marco and just made some small changes, like adding the date and the stewards channel to use for testing for the sesh, for the call announcement Discord bot. Mainly because right now it's very, very difficult, I'd say impossible, to update the banner without Vi, and Vi sort of ending up becoming a bottleneck with all these changes that we need. And with this new bot, every steward can update the schedule or the images or anything they want about announcing their working groups. So when you change your time, you can update it yourself. And it's in here if anyone wants to go and customize their own. But I asked Acid Laser if he would give us some help with making them nice. So retroactive focus on params parting is live token engineering. I tagged communications working group, stewards, communitas, params, but I don't know who wants to like take this on as, I think this is probably something the params team does as, making use of Discord communities and framing it as education as well as parties.
I do think that it's all of the extroverted people who want to host a param party's job. So if you want, I like that we listed the thing, and maybe we have like a hack sesh on it this Sunday for sure. During this hour, I can add that to the list. Like, hey, who wants to like start engaging with these other Discord communities and set a time? I already set a time with like a DAO education group for like 60 members on Friday the 11th. So like, and I think it's just going to be like one of these engagement things, and maybe this Sunday we can talk about it, but anyone who knows a Discord that they would want to like, bring a param party to, just do it. Try to get someone in that Discord to be your buddy. It's like good advice process, so that you know what their culture is, and they're teaming up with you for the param party. They're like down to also host it with you. I think that'd be best practice. But
have we booked any of these param parties in the DE Discord?
Into the TE, not yet. I think we really need to just give it until the dashboard is a little bit, it's like in beta plus. Totally good to work, but there's still bugs that we're finding. So I would just wait until Tuesday is the target. So you can start scheduling it, but like I would schedule it like Thursday, Friday at the earliest next week. Mitch?
A couple of things on there. First of all, my understanding was that Edu, like as part of the outreach, was going to have some role in like reaching out to other Discords and communities. Second, I would be happy to host these. I think I got a pretty good understanding, and like I can explain it in a way that makes it understandable. And third is, Chewy just gave me access to this param party calendar, so I can totally take that job from you, Griff, for cat herding.
Okay, cool.
So regarding my part, what we will do for what I was expecting to do this weekend was the outreach to hatchers. That was the main intention. I have bandwidth afterwards to do communities. That's not a problem. But the priority for me is the internal community at the moment. That's the goal.
I'm happy to do it. I probably just don't have the bandwidth to like shill to all these communities.
I agree with.
I'm happy to just show up and throw one.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you drop the calendar link in this 1054? Just because it'd be great to see where it's happening so that everyone's sort of aware and we're not duplicating efforts. And then Mitch, are you comfortable owning this in so far as like just Yeah, maybe it's actually just like having this list of Discord servers so that everyone can start to add their own.
You said it's 1054, the issue?
Yep,
In TC coordination workspace.
correct.
I had a filter on, that's fine. Yeah, got it.
Cool.
Okay, I'll drop the link in there. And
Oh, Chewy, look what you did. Thank you. That's amazing. You're 30 minutes ahead. Yeah, that's fantastic, actually. Thanks. This is really great.
Cool, and it looks like it's already been assigned to me, so there you go.
That's okay.
um,
Cool, so that'll be a fun one to keep our eye on this sprint, actually. Go ahead,
there is one assigned to me in instance of God, but the one for the template for a snapshot, since we are on me, like just right to finish
Can
it
we
up.
just finish Communitas and then go to
Sure.
after? Okay, because I think we're done. Hold on. Yeah, no, we're bringing this one in. Reorganization of Discord menu, ideas about, okay. Reimagine Medium. Nate, this is something that, did you want to post something? I heard you say you wanted to, or in the community call, you said you were thinking about posting something on Discord. Do you think that's something you could bring into this sprint, or?
Yes, definitely. I already have a couple of ideas in terms of getting people to write like we had before for the forum insights as a Medium post, and as well as some interviews with like YGG about the proposal inverter and like different initiatives going on within the TEC to actually write out an interview transcript in written form, as well as a live version of the Twitter Spaces. So yeah.
Cool.
Do you still want to do the Twitter space thing, Nate?
I do, yeah. I really think it's a really good idea, and I think it's another way we can engage our Twitter followers and kind of gain our social media. So,
do we have an issue for that?
We don't. I've talked to ViViV about like kind of the logistics of the audio and how to set it up, and then I talked to Zepti about recording it, and so the idea would be to have kind of Twitter Spaces, but also have video that goes along with it, and then have a written transcript for it for the Medium page.
Wow, that's a lot of scope.
Yeah.
I'll just say that because I believe Twitter Space only works through the phone.
Yeah, and that's what ViViV and I were talking about. So,
why don't we just do Twitter Space and just do Twitter, like literally just set a date, jump on Twitter all together.
I can do that, yeah.
I mean, it could be interesting. I guess the real question is like the moderation and like.
Yeah, I already set up a whole interview with YGG. I just waiting on him to set a date.
Cool. Yeah. Can you throw an issue on the board? This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Okay. Cool. And if it's coming in the sprints, just drag it in the sprint backlog. Yeah, I think the video part, like, is there even a way to create video along with the? Yeah, I didn't.
Not through Twitter. What were you saying, Jeff?
I actually think the other thing about the Twitter space is that it's like it's you're there or you're not there, you know? It's like, and that's part of it actually. Like I don't know that we should jump through hoops to record it. If it was super easy, we could do it, but I don't know that that's
the only reason I wanted to record it was for the sake of having kind of a written transcript of it, so and posting it on the Medium page, just so people can recall that if they're not present, they can go over it through the Medium.
I think that for the first one or two Twitter Spaces we do, it would be better if we do not record it as a test, and then from that we learn, and then from that point we can actually set up a way to record it.
That's fair.
All right, awesome. So, who wants to go next? Cheery, you cool to do comms?
Yes, I'm. Okay, so I pretty much already put everything in the product backlog except for 1039, which is the update on Gitbook. I put it in the icebox because I'm gonna be finishing the manifesto, so I just like don't see like a lot of use in updating it right now with the current one because it's outdated. So, but it could be in considered in this sprint. So that's why I added the tag. So
Wait,
yeah,
this upgrade comms workgroup section on Gitbook, it's in the icebox, but it's in the next sprint. The icebox means like we'll look at it again in 3 months.
Okay. So yeah, probably we can take it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I meant is that it's being
Not
blocked
happening this sprint.
by the manifesto, but okay, it can stay in the product backlog.
Okay.
And
It might actually be interesting to update it this week. I mean, this sprint, because I mean, it's so out of date. I mean, if people come to our handbook to look for the steward of comms, they're going to be sent to Jessica, Marco, and you. So even maybe
Okay.
some small updates could be
Okay.
just useful for the community. I
Yeah,
don't
I
mean
can just,
upgrading the whole
put the
section,
current
but
one.
just like, yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure. And Lily has access to the Gitbook, right?
Don't you have access to do it?
I don't think I do.
Oh, I have access. If you want, we can do it
okay.
together.
I can also help.
I assumed you had. I assumed all the stewards had access to update it.
I bet it's not hard to get access. I think she just sends you a link.
Okay, yeah, then I could take care of it myself, so I don't have to take your time.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, then the contributor index is something that I'm gonna move to the sprint backlog also.
Okay. I'm gonna take off blocking. Sorry.
Okay. And also submission to positive blockchain is highly likable that is triggered out this next sprint. Funding proposal will definitely be, and DAO dashboard is also making some progress with positive blockchain. The only listing that we haven't been able to figure out yet is CoinGecko, but yeah, I'll pick up on that with Septi this week. And implement working group updates to the website. I'm gonna put it in the icebox because next Tuesday we're gonna be presenting an onboarding dashboard idea by Nick.
Hi, Nick.
And
Hi.
oh, hi, Nick.
It's like you were summoned.
Yeah. So this dashboard idea is like it takes this idea for implementing the forum just like to a whole next level, and I feel that it also has a lot of potential for becoming like its own product and just project. So yeah, if we're gonna be supporting Nick with this until it can reach the advice process. So in case anyone wants to join this conversation, we're gonna be discussing this on Tuesday. Orientation video. I was gonna ask you, Tam, because we thought that maybe this kind of projects would be much better after the Commons upgrade. So should this be in the icebox even though it's a priority?
I think put it in the icebox. I think, the main reason we were doing that was because orientation, the 1 hour slot for orientation was not reasonable for many time zones. And between us creating starting to record orientation. So now that we'll have a series of orientation videos on YouTube, and then doing like a very short 3-4 minute, this is our mission, vision, value. This is our working group. This is our calendar. Come join us video. Like really, I'm imagining something very little. I think this it can definitely be iceboxed because this was so much more comprehensive,
Okay, and Google Cal for the param parties also goes to this sprint backlog. CoinGecko, I would say that keep it in the product backlog. Content map also goes to the sprint. I'm picking up on that with 0 so that we can have a more updated version and that suits the comments upgrade. And yeah, I think that's it.
I wonder if we close this podcast or news update. This is issue number 8, which was opened over a year ago. And the idea of a podcast has come up. The Twitter space has come up too. And I wonder if there's any use in keeping this open, or if we just close this now and when the idea comes up again, we reopen an issue with a new plan.
I actually want to own that one. Not for next sprint, but I want to own that one and sort of take the idea of the podcast somehow. So I will, if possible, if no one disagrees, I would like to keep that one.
Okay, I would say throw some updates and some ideas in it. And yeah, certainly we could throw it on your, I think this one's just out of date. Maybe it's not. This is a document of an original idea for like a news section. Maybe that could be helpful for you when you're thinking about it too.
Thank you.
Oh, and Edu, if you could keep me in the loop for that, I would appreciate it a lot.
For sure.
Okay. I'll throw you on it and we'll leave it in the product backlog. But it'd be great to start throwing some ideas. It could be really cool. Okay, cool. So planning the spotlight in our weekly community calls. Do we finally retire this? I guess we retire this. Can I just say, I got a little superstitious yesterday that because we didn't have a spotlight, we didn't have a high attendance in our community call. And I thought, oh no, maybe we should have the spotlight back again. Maybe that was a possible draw. But yeah, that was my feeling yesterday. Quickly, what does everyone else think on the spotlight idea? Anyone want to chime in?
Bring it back.
Is it bring it back?
Bring it back.
So the thing is, it's super tough to get people to be able to, like, it's just been like, I know Eduardo has tried, Nate has tried, and there's like a real struggle to get people to present for 5 minutes at the end of a call.
Yeah, I was just like reduce praise time to like a third of what it is now and give these people like 15, 20 minutes would be amazing,
Yeah, then we lose the praise. Sad face.
Praise is nice, but like it doesn't scale well, and like once you're done your part, like most people just kind of tune out. Anyway, maybe that's just me.
People tune out during working group updates, and people that they don't care about as well. In the end, that's the place where everyone gets a chance to give an update, right?
I will say that I did enjoy the fact that working groups were able to explain a lot more in depth in this past one. A little more than usual, which is really nice just to kind of, I just want to throw that out there. That's kind of the only plus that I saw of the change.
It definitely gives more space for demos. We didn't have any demos last week or anything to demo, but sometimes we do. And when we have a demo plus the spotlight, is tough.
Okay. Yeah, so in favor of the praise, or just to my feeling about the long praise is that it's where you hear lots of stuff that's going on that you didn't know about. Like all these collaborations that are happening that are not on people's radar really get surfaced in those 22 minutes. And that's actually really nice. And I know that like we can say people should type it in the channel, but like that's not, it doesn't happen. If you're given like a minute to say it, people will say it. But yeah.
And for
I
those
really love
who,
the spotlight,
sorry.
though. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
For those who don't have that much mental bandwidth, this is like a great way to catch up to everything that's going on inside the TEC, but still be part of the community because everyone is in the call with you, or most people are.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see how the spotlight evolves. Maybe this new spotlight will be even more amazing because it's like, 3 or 4 spotlights in one session, and it could be even greater than this rushed spotlight at the end. All right, cool. Chewy, anything else? We have a bunch of repeating things. The weekly scheduling of tweets. I think Ivy's still doing that for this sprint, maybe 1-2 more sprints. I'll bring that in as well.
Yes.
Okay. Am I filtered? Yeah, Communitas. Okay. Call to action for, oh, sorry, Ivy, you have a call to action for Twitter mentions.
Yeah, this was brought up in one of the comms sync calls that Eduardo mentioned. So we're planning to make like not a script, but like a standard response where we want to lead people to when they ask for or when they mention TEC on Twitter. So yeah, I can start on that sprint.
And Nate, you have a Medium article from a forum post. Do you think that's coming into this sprint?
Yes, I have it written. Just haven't posted it yet. So
Great, cool. All right, Chewy, anything else you want to add, or shall we move on?
Yeah, I'm good for comments.
All right. Maybe I'll do the stewards quickly because I know exactly what we'll be working on. So custody and distribution of working group funding. So, okay, let's say the funding proposal passes. Now, how do we actually store it and how are we distributing it? I'm assuming it's going to be monthly. I'm assuming that the stewards are going to vote on the stewards that are active. And there's just some assumptions that I'm making and I just want to put it on paper and share it with everyone. Updating the stewards manifesto to include the working group funding proposal, as well as the new onboarding and offboarding. So I thought it'd be nice to update the manifesto with some of the new things that have changed. And I think the working group proposal, I think now that we have more of a fixed number of stewards, I will do a final revision of that and then post it on the forum. I did a really bad job of this last sprint, revising and promoting the TEC timeline. So I'm going to do a better job of it this sprint. Actions for the TEC and TE. So we did the Stewards Council where we brainstormed some ideas. I grouped them together into different categories and created a spreadsheet that we'll be using to sort of go through actions that we can take and then sort of planning them as they come up. But right now it's just some similar ideas to what we've come up with in that brainstorm session. But if anyone wants to jump into that spreadsheet and add things, please feel free. And that's it. And then this initial buy-in will just not be the sprint. And that's it. That's probably, I hope I can do most of those well. And I won't take on any more. Shall we move to Gravity? And then maybe just touch legal, and soft gov will probably wait till Livia's in Costa Rica.
Okay, Sam. On my side as a steward, I am going to try to do 3 params parties next week. And on Gravity, yeah, we have recurring issues that are the NBC Club and the continue delivering Graviton training. Also, Levy has Graviton training on the 6th of November, and as the Graviton training is after SoftGov, I talked with her to spread the loads, and I will be facilitating the SoftGov call, and she will be facilitating Graviton training. And yeah, that's an issue that this sprint we're going to prepare that session. And I really like rotative facilitations. I think yeah, that works really. And yeah, this would be a good case between Gravity and SoftCode for that day. I will have in the product backlog the long-term Gravity roadmap, because I feel that we need to schedule a session, like a hack session, about this. But I feel that right now with the Graviton training and with the NBC book club, we're a little bit loaded on those calls. So yeah, I am going to schedule it maybe for the next. And yeah, we are ready to make the Gitcoin grant for Gravity. But yeah, the thing that I still don't know is what would be the best way or the best way to manage and collect the funds. I don't know if it would be good to create a multisig, and who will be the custodians of that multisig. Maybe choosing between some gravitons or yeah, I don't know. That it would be good to make a brainstorm about it. I will see how did the other working groups that had Gitcoin grants did it. Like I know that once there was a Gitcoin grant for the Hitchhiker's Guide, and a Gitcoin grant for the Params dashboard. So yeah, I don't know how was that done, and maybe I will try to see what would be the best way to help on that and to manage those funds. And yeah, I think that this sprint we can close to the terms and conditions of the ABC. I think today in legal they were almost finishing that document, and yeah, and I want to work with Livy also on integrating feedback in the covenant.
Cool. I don't hear you anymore, Wonka.
No, I just finished.
Okay. All right, cool. Awesome, thanks. And maybe we have a quick look at legal. Ivy, Griff, you guys were in the legal today. Is there anything that needs to come into the next sprint from here? Any update on these issues?
I'll let Ivy say more than me, but I do know that Sean has a plan of making a forum post around treasury management advice, which will be cool.
Cool.
Ivy, do you have anything else? I only made the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then I think issues 243 and 245. That's all we discussed today. I think these two can go to this sprint. 243 and yeah, that one and
Cool.
and the doubt treasury legal 882.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see. I don't know if it's worth looking at SoftGov. Maybe we have a quick look. Oh, here, Eduardo, you wanted to talk about this. The create snapshot template for snapshot. So you created the template, and now I guess the next steps are update the forum template. And do you want to take a look at this and pull this into next sprint? Maybe you're not there. I do. I'll pull it into the sprint just so we can figure out what to do with it next. It's done. It's just a matter of like placing it where people can find it now. Okay, I think maybe I'll ask Livia to go through these next week when she's landed. Let's see if we're able to bring the form. All right, so let's just go through the repeating ones. Support TC transparency. So all the repeating ones are mainly yours. I will not be pulling that in. And then I want to see if there's anything that says next sprint that hasn't been addressed yet. Just this one, and that's fine. I think we're done. I think maybe we can look at quickly some of these. So Hatcher Relations Proposal Scouts Infra Ops. Anything new here? Oh, the reward system. Okay. All right, that's it. So I need to sync with Livia on SoftGov and with Christopher on the rewards system. And then we'll have our final sprint, 21. So cool. Okay, before we go, what are you looking forward to most this weekend? And I'm going to pass to Griff to get us started.
Sleep. I've been running late calls and early calls all week, and I am so excited to just get like full night's sleep tonight. And also, I think I'm going to go to like a contact dance this evening, and that should be fun. I haven't done that in a long time.
What is it?
Contact dancing. It's like hippies like rolling on each other on the dance floor, basically. Standing up mostly, sometimes flipping around. It's pretty funny. I'll pass it to Mitch. Mitch, are you doing that tonight? I didn't think so.
Hippies rolling around on each other. That sounds like a good way to get lice. I'm looking forward
True
to
story.
Yeah, true story. I'm looking forward to pram parties this week. I'm looking forward to Livia getting here, and looking forward to going to the beach. And I'll pass it to Eduardo.
Eduardo, we can't hear you. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good.
Oh, I was screaming when Griff was mentioning contact dancing because I used to do that a lot. I'm sorry, this is awful for me, but I never imagined you doing contact dancing. So that's amazing. Looking forward. I have a friend visiting home, so probably will be around the city, walking around, probably mostly. But I think that will be it. There is holidays here on Monday, so we'll probably take advantage of the city being empty. So that will be my plan. And how about you, Jean?
Hello. Yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to watching the optimism vote since I'm just seeing, learning how that's gonna go, and gonna do some cleaning around the house. So looking forward to a nice cleaner house as well. So yeah. Sorry. Pass to Lutzar. Hello.
Hi everyone. I don't think I've actually met any of you. I just recently joined. You guys gave a little, what do you guys call them? Praise. You gave praise to actually a friend of mine, Anson Parker, just yesterday, and I was really happy to like say he invited me into here. So I'm really happy to see you guys are trying to take a stab at this whole decentralized shindig for our economy, and I would love to see if I could be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. But this weekend, I'm planning on doing some pumpkin patches and stuff. I just moved to a new town on the West Coast, so trying to check out as much as I can while the weather's still nice.
Cool. Welcome. And thanks for joining, Lutzar.
Just briefly, if you need anything, Lutzar, or any questions or so on, please send me a message and we can touch bases. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. To keep things moving, maybe I'll pass to Ivy.
Thanks, Sam. I look forward to hang out with my friends. We're checking in at the hotel this weekend. So yeah, I'm just gonna hang out with them and do nothing, make fun of each other. So yeah. I pass it to Nate.
Oh man, nobody's mentioned All Hallows Eve yet. I'm gonna be watching scary movies all weekend, so it's gonna be great. Kind of a tradition, so it's just really excited about that. I will pass it over to Nick.
That's exactly what I'm doing too, except we're gonna be dressed up. Woo! Also, if I can squeeze in some coding for the Chainlink hackathon, probably that. I'm not sure. I think, is that everyone? I'm sorry, I don't know who to pass to.
Could pass to Juanca.
Yeah. Yesterday, we saw a tweet that the next token that will be onboarded in MakerDAO as collateral is Lido, like the ETH from Lido. And yeah, I am going to meet with my brother to see if we can do something with our collaterals. So yeah, we will get together today to talk about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to toss it to Mitch.
I went already, no?
Oh, Chewy?
I'm going to a concert tonight again. Yeah, hopefully bring that part of my life back after the pandemic. For the rest of the weekend, I really wanted to do something, but I remember that on Tuesday there's Dia de Muertos in Mexico, and Mateo is gonna be here, so we're gonna be going to a small little town that has like the best celebration of Dia de Muertos ever, and it's super cool. Like I love it. Like I've been there for I don't know how many years straight before the pandemic, and it's just like one of the best places where you can be. It's very magical, and it's just like one night in the whole year. So I'm gonna save some energies for that, and I wanted to get a dApp node, but I think crypto payments are down. So I'll wait for that. And I'll pass it to
I think it's
back
just
to
me.
you, Sam. I think
Yeah. That makes me feel I'm so happy for you and really jealous too. That sounds like an amazing weekend. So I forgot it was Halloween, and I'm actually a tiny bit sad about it because my daughters are with their dad for a week. So it's our first Halloween apart, and it's like one of the few holidays that I really treasure. But we'll do dress up and trick-or-treating when they're back. Which also means that I have a whole weekend of like thinking time and like reading time, which isn't often for me. So I'm gonna luxuriate in the ability to just think and read and run and do whatever this weekend. And that's it. Thanks everyone for joining today.
Thanks, Tam.